What up, guys? Your boy Quake, and Eminem is back officially with a new track. And of course, I'm going to always talk about it, especially when he goes in on people. And this time, he's specifically taken his aim towards Benzino. If you're out of the loop, Eminem appeared on the Lyrical Lemonade album All Is Yellow on a track called Doomsday Part 2. And the original Doomsday track was a track by Juice WRLD and Cordae that was released by Lyrical Lemonade a while ago. This is Part 2 with solely Eminem. And the production of this track is sampled by Eminem's old track Role Model off the Slim Shady LP, which is really cool. It's nice to kind of bring that old late 90s, early 2000s sound back. And Eminem sounds amazing on this track. I've noticed that his flows kind of changed a little bit. His voice tone has changed, which I appreciate a lot more, and it's getting me more excited for what Eminem has to come, hopefully in 2024, when it comes to possibly delivering a new album. So with Eminem going at people, which I always appreciate, I've been raised in the early 2000s music where artists would go directly at people instead of the subliminal shots. So I always appreciate Eminem when he does this. So let's break down the track bar for bar, the lyrics of what he's talking about. He sends some slight joking shots at Kanye West, Lil Wayne, and Drake. And then he goes in on Benzino, talks about his daughter, Coi Leray, and then he even gives props to J. Cole towards the end. There is only one verse on this track. It's fairly a short track, but it's very nice. I think it's a fire song. It's a good way to kind of introduce Eminem to 2024, and hopefully it's a nice way to hype up, the upcoming album that we're potentially getting, at least all these rumors flying around that we're going to get it. So skipping a few lines, he says this, but I'm not trying to be controversial. I'd rather talk shit with the purpose that matters, like who had the second best verse on Forever. So if you guys don't remember, the track Forever in 2009 was Drake, Lil Wayne, Kanye West, and Eminem. And Eminem here is saying, I had the best verse, and then debate about who had the second best one. And this is not the first time that Eminem has said this. He said this on the Fall track that he released on Kamikaze a while ago. On that track, he said the fans waited for this moment like that feature when I stole the show. Sorry if I took forever. A lot of people debate about who had the best verse, but, that's, to me, it's kind of a toss-up between Lil Wayne and Eminem. I go back and forth with those. I think everybody did their thing, but it's a great... I miss tracks like that. I wish more hip-hop tracks had a lot more superstars on one track together. That whole DJ Khaled, Kumbaya by the Fire type of music, I wish they would do a little bit more of that, but it hasn't been done in a while. So hopefully somebody has the balls to do that again, because it's interesting. I like to see a bunch of top-tier artists on the same track going at it. But continuing on, this is where he takes shots at Benzino. He says, now I got a riddle. What? One condition, you mustn't laugh. Okay. What is the opposite of Benzino? What? A giraffe. Haha. Go at his neck. How the fuck is that? How can I go at something he doesn't have? Arms so short, he can't even touch his hands when they're up above his head doing jumping jacks. So, if you look at Benzino, it's kind of clearly you can tell he doesn't have a neck. It's like very, he's very built, very big guy, but he doesn't have a neck. A lot of people joke on him for that, and Eminem's doing that same thing. And, he's got a very stocky build as a person. But, and if you're probably wondering why Eminem is going at Benzino, after all these years, you would think, the beef has settled down. They've kind of moved on. Benzino keeps doing these interviews and basically bringing race into Eminem's situation once again. He's saying, why is Eminem a top 5 rapper of all time? Or why is he the face of hip hop? He's white. He's not part of the culture. And this is something that's been going on with Benzino and Eminem for a long time. If you don't know the history between Eminem and Benzino, check out my documentary, Eminem versus Benzino, Who Really Won. It breaks down everything from the start of, Eminem getting upset at the Source magazine, which Benzino ran and owned at the time, not giving him, 5-star mics, which were huge at that time. If you got 5-star mics on your album, it was basically a classic, and Eminem never really got that. He felt snubbed by the Source magazine and then called out Benzino, and it got into something crazy with race. Then Benzino, leaked a tape where it sounded like Eminem was racist. Eminem responded to it. So the whole breakdown is in that documentary, but Benzino in 2023 was going around doing interviews basically saying, why is Eminem the face of hip hop? Why is he pushed up to this plateau? And why is everybody praising him when hip hop is black culture? It's all our culture, and so on and so forth. So Eminem is basically responding to all these things Benzino is saying, because he said a lot of things. Even his daughter got, dragged into this, and even Eminem responds to his daughter, Coi Leray, who's her own artist in her own right. So
when you look at Eminem and his fans, they're the most craziest, disrespectful fans that we have in the culture.
I think he was the most streamed artist on YouTube in 2022.
Exactly what I said was going to happen, happened. Didn't want to give us Eminem, and he's the greatest rapper, and he's the most. And no, it's not fair, man. Okay, lyrically, but the masturbation elevation. I don't rap like that. I'm not into rap like that. I didn't come up growing up listening to rap like that. I listened to rap that was going on, stuff that I could relate with that's going on in my hood. You didn't have to be super lyrical. I like lyrical people too, Nas, Jay, like they can put words together good. But I wasn't into that rap anyways. And then they're gonna see, well, who was the most streamed and the most sold? And then his face is gonna pop up.
Why does that bother you though?
Because it's our culture, it's ours. It's black people's culture, it's us. Why should somebody else get the credit to be the face of it?
Continuing on the lyrics, he pokes fun at how short Benzino is. Arms so short you can't even touch his hands when they're above his head, doing jumping jacks. Sorry, I don't mean to upset you, Ben, when I talk about all the debt you in. I hear that you've been creeping on the low in them cheap hotels that they catch you in. Jesus Christ, dog, when you said 210, never guessed you meant at that Red Roof Inn. So, if you don't know, there's been a lot of, police officers wear body cams. And, there's been a lot of body cam footage from police officers here in Georgia that, stopped Benzino a lot of times. He's been arrested, in and out of arrest. And there's one moment they caught him at a Red Roof Inn hotel. And, I'm not one to judge people's, sexuality and what they do, but it looked like he was, with another man in a hotel room, and it looked a little, zesty to say. I can't really say word for word, but you know what I'm talking about. It looked a little, zesty. And then Eminem poked fun at that. He continued on in the verse and said, "In a room with one single bed, two men. Shady, man, you can't. Yeah, yes, you can. Well, I guess then I regret to inform you, hate to spoil the day, but this doesn't bring me to no joy to say. Guess that Coi Leray feats in the toilet A. Damage due to flows, collateral, I suppose. Gap pointed like mine and Sandra Bullock's nose." Yeah, that's hilarious. But he's saying that the Coi Leray, collaboration is down the toilet. It's not going to happen because Coi Leray actually got asked about this on Math Hoffa's podcast. And, he asked if Eminem ever reached out to do a track with you, would you ever do a track with him? And she said, I'd have to first. She first said no. And then she was like, I'd have to, sit down with my father, Benzino, and talk to him about it. And if he approves it, then I'll do it. But that was her take on it.
So if M reached out to do a record with you, would you do it with him?
No, hell no, unless I got my father's blessing. Like, I would sit down with my father, first of all, and bring it up to him. I wouldn't even ask him. I would be like, yo, listen, this is what happened.
And, that's fair, man. That's family, so it makes sense, even though they even have their own beef here and there. But Coi Leray's kind of done her own thing, and she's kind of blown up to her own superstar status, way bigger than her father was, musically at least. So that's pretty cool to see. Continuing on, this is where Eminem decides to give praise to J. Cole, because J. Cole in 2023 was praised by a lot of people for having the best verses in that year, and for basically getting better and better. He's dominated in 2023 when it comes to verses, guest features. Even though he didn't release an album, he still killed it. And he says this: "You probably feel like you're going to die because you're in my morgue and you're tied up like a tight score. And that's why I'm back with Cole Bennett, and I've been at the level J. Cole been at. It's aftermath that I ride for till I die." So very cool that he gave props to J. Cole. I would love to hear an Eminem and J. Cole track. That's long overdue. I hope this new Eminem album, has more hip-hop like features. I know he's been, he dabbles here and there with like pop stars and stuff, but I would like this more to be, more hip-hop. Get Kendrick, get Cole, get Drake on there, get 50 Cent back on a track where you guys are back on there, and just more, I don't know, I feel like the Kamikaze type of ride. I really enjoyed that Kamikaze album a lot. So I'm always a fan of when Eminem responds to people, because that's the old school, in me, that I love the direct shots at people. I don't like the subliminals. That's something I critique Drake a lot for because he does a lot of those subliminals. But let me know what you guys think of the track, man. And if you guys want to know more of the history, like I said, of the Eminem and Benzino beef, check out my documentary, Eminem versus Benzino, Who Really Won. And I break down everything of how it started up until the video was released, which was, I believe, I want to say, damn, I actually released this a while ago. I was going to say 2019, but it was released in 2018. So it's been a while. Of course, I'd probably have to do an updated version, but really, you know, it's been Benzino kind of taking shots at him, and then at a certain point, Benzino says, I apologize, I'm done with the beef, and then he goes back and takes shots at him. It's because Eminem, you know, even Eminem plays around with Benzino a lot and jokes around with him and sends shots his way. So it's one of the funnier beefs, I think, in hip-hop history. But, you know, I find it awesome that Eminem doesn't care what level he's at. He'll go at anybody. And I appreciate that, especially as a hip-hop fan. I like competition. As long as it doesn't get violent, I love it. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think of the track. And, you know, hopefully we get a new Eminem album. That's it for today's video. If you guys want to support this channel further, you can do so at patreon.com/diverse mentality. For just $3 a month, you can get my videos uncut and raw the way I intended them to be, but couldn't because of YouTube. Plus, you also get access to our Discord community, where we have a great community talking about hip-hop and various other things. It's very dope. So only $3 a month. I'd really appreciate the support. Also, follow us on social media at QuakeGW and at Diverse Mentality. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.